Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. So this is the second Velocity Banking review for today. So, have you ever thought what your life would be like if you made more than 11 grand a month after tax? That'd be pretty sweet, right? But here's the thing. When you make more money, you become the prime target for banks, and so it's very possible to become paycheck to paycheck simply because you got too much debt, right? So, 4 credit cards here, huge credit cards, 2 auto loans, a student loan at $150,000. So, we probably are dealing with some sort of professional, like a lawyer or maybe possibly a doctor. And then we got a $300,000 mortgage, right? And then we have our food, gas, insurance, all of our non debt expenses grouped into one bucket for $3,000 a month. And we're going to learn how to pay off our debt as a really, really rich person, right? So if you're, really, really rich but broke, not a problem, or at least I don't think it is, right? And we're going to cover velocity banking today as a really, really rich person. So, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you throw all your money into debt with the help of a line of credit. And we assume the same income, we assume the same expenses, okay? So, let me go ahead and do this. And then the savings is going to be zero. Zero savings, and then we have our income minus our expenses, which is going to be our cash flow, which we're going to try to maximize on day one. Okay, and the thing that we're going to assume is we have access to something called a line of credit. So, what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you could borrow money, pay it back, and use it over and over again. So, literally, in my own life, notice how I'm using the word literally because it is true, literally. Um, I have access to $579,000 in lines of credit, and I have something called a home equity line of credit where I could borrow 280, go into my bank's website or app, click a button, and they'll give dump 280,000 or up to 280,000 um, at a 7.5% interest rate. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to assume we have access to a huge line of credit. Huge. I don't know how huge, but let's count out how much credit card debt we have. 25, 28, 29, 30. Okay, how much is that? And we have access to we'll say we have access to a $150,000 line of credit, especially if you're making 11 grand a month. You probably could get access to that. And I don't know if you knew this or not. Let's say you're balling as a physician, physician line of credit. They actually have lines of credit for physicians, right? Where is a physician line of credit? Look, American Medical Association has a special section for loans and financial services, doctor loans. But look at this. Uh-oh. Where's the physician's line of credit? Home equity, personal loans. I know there's a physician's line of credit here somewhere. Let me take a look. There, line of credit for physicians. There we go. Um, doctor loan. Did they take away the line of credit? Oh, here we are. Physician line of credit. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do this and assume we have access to $150,000 at 8%. Right. And here's the thing. Here's the tricky thing about banking and credit. If you ever try to get a new line of credit and you're broke, they ain't gonna lend it to you, right? Because banks don't lend money to people who need it. And that's why the best people who will learn from this is people who are actually can't even qualify for credit because as you make more money, then you become target for the banks. And then what they want you to do is be broke so that they can extract all your wealth. All right. So let's go ahead and do this and move. How much was it? So 25, 28, 29, 30. So how much was it in total? It's 112,000 in lines of credit. And let's go ahead and move it or in credit cards and let's move it into the line of credit. And guess what happens to these payments? Oh no, look at that. They're gone. They're gone. And we literally went from 183,000 $183 to $3,884 and 00 cents. Isn't that amazing? I can't even believe it. My mind is so blown, right? All right, so now what's the next thing? Well, we gotta do the final step, which is put the entire 11 grand into the line of credit, take our expenses out, and rinse and repeat over and over again, which we're going to do. So let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to do this minus 3884. All right. So paycheck in, expenses out. And after every single month, the balance will go down by $3,884. So let's go ahead and do this. And then I am going to take the average, right? We take the average daily balance, multiply it by the interest rate, and then divide by 12. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy and paste this. And then we see after every single month, the debt is gone in about 32 months. So now we're feeling a little bit richer, right? We're rich but broke, and now we're rich and feeling rich. $3,884 a month in cash flow. So in 32 months, how much do we pay off? 32 months. Paid off $112,000 of credit card debt. Bam. Okay. And now let's go to a loan calculator, right? I just got to type in 32, 32, 32, 32. And then we see that we have these two auto loans here, the huge student loan and then the mortgage. And so which one are we going to pay off first? Because what is the highest interest rate? And some people are saying, attack the student loan, right? Easiest way, okay, to pay off the debt is by using something called the cash flow index, right? So as you can see here, there's a formula. If you don't know the formula, look it up in Google. It's just the statement balance divided by the monthly payment. And you want to take these lower number ones because these lower number ones are saying, hey, if you pay them off, you're going to get more bang for your buck in terms of cash flow, right? I pay these two off. I'm getting pretty much the same as the mortgage. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to copy and paste. And then I'm also going to do this, copy and paste, right? And let's see how much cash flow I get for paying off these two loans. So the reason why we don't focus on paying off the mortgage is, look, if I pay these two loans off, I'm getting just as much in payment compared to the 30-year mortgage. So if I focus on paying that $282,000 first, then it doesn't do my cash flow any good, right? So that's why we focus on paying these two off because we get more bang for our buck in a shorter amount of time. So let's go ahead and do this, and I'm going to erase this. And what is the sum of that? So 31 grand. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that, and 31 grand, and I'm going to copy and paste here, and I'm going to do this, and then now this is plus 31795.26. So we move these two auto loans into our line of credit, 00. And then what's our cash flow now? It's 5 grand. It's too much cash flow. We really feel like we're rich, and we could be a little bit reckless going forward. So let's go here and then minus 5069.88, and then I'm going to do this, copy and paste. And so now in 39 months, okay, 39 months, we paid off the two auto loans. Okay, so now, okay, so equals 112 plus 25 plus 40. And then this is $177,000. And now at 39 months, let's figure out what the balance of this is. So this is now 0, 0, 39, 39. And this is $110,000 that we have to pay off. Again, we're focusing on the student loan because it does have the highest interest rate, but also, okay, we get more bang for our buck for paying it off. 110,000 to get 1665 versus 278 to get $1,264 in our cash flow. So let's focus on this one. And if there's an interest rate difference, right? 6% loan versus 8% line of credit, or 3% loan versus 8% line of credit. We want to use what we call the chunking method because this is very interesting enough, interest resistant, or for the most part, even though we're using an 8% line of credit. So we'll use it to pay it off. And so what does that mean? So basically, let's say we have this $110,000 balance, and then we just move the piece of the loan into the line of credit. So we'll just say maybe like 12, 11 grand. Okay. Just an arbitrary number. We're just going to use our paycheck and see how much we get. So plus 11000. It takes us to pay at the 11 grand 2 months, right? 1, 2. We'll do it one more time. 1, 2, right? You see how that works? So we just kind of move 11 grand pieces into the line of credit. And luckily, we have a velocity banking calculator for this, where I just type in the information, and then it just tells me, all right, how much I'm going to pay off in a line in, or how long it's going to take me to pay off the debt. So let's go ahead and do this 10 years. And what's the original balance of that student loan? I mean, it would be sweet if we were a doctor, right? So let me just go in here and 1665.31. Okay. So 165.31. And that is let me do that right here. 6% interest rate? Yeah, 6% at 30 years or 10 years. What am I saying? 150,000, 150, 110,692.92. 110,692.92. And then what is our monthly income? So our monthly income is 11,11000. And then what's our living expenses? Our living expenses is everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off, right? So would it be this one right here? No, that's 12,000. That's another high income situation. All right, so it'd be these two right here. So we're gonna copy and paste this, and then right here, 4264.81. So it'd be 4264.81, and then 11000. Okay, so 1.5 years. Sweet. Okay, 1.5 years, completely paid off. And I'm gonna do this. All right, so 1.5 years. So this is 0, and then 39 plus 12 plus 6, that's 57 months, and that's 177. Okay, 177 plus 150, which is 327K. 327K. Now, our only debt left is this 3% $300,000 mortgage. So let's do this. Let's use this opportunity for us as a rich person to get even richer, because we could either focus on paying off our debt, or we could buy cash flowing real estate deals to help us grow our wealth. And if you feel comfortable at this stage, let's do that, right? So we're going to put a pause in all of our mortgage payoff, because we paid most of our debt, and let's do this. Let's buy a rental property. Okay, how do we buy a rental property? Number one rule: buy it in a decent area and buy it at a discount, right? So if you take a look here, we have this $300,000 property that we bought for 200,000 at the peak of the market. So if you could do it at the peak of the market, obviously it'll be easier to do when real estate is slow, right? So buy it at a discount, buy it at $100,000 discount. So we're going to buy all in, including repairs, at $200,000, right? That's what we're doing. And I'm going to do this. And so let's say we got a $250,000 home equity line of credit, and now we'll just buy it outright at a $200,000, $300,000 property for $200,000, and we get a renter in there. So maybe the rent is about $2,000 a month. So plus 2,000, and then we multiply it by 0.7, right? Because 30% goes to expenses. So we're just giving you a flat figure, easy way to add your income plus the tenant's income to pay off that rental real estate. So let's go ahead and do that. So I2 plus 1, same formulas again. So equals G2 plus H2 minus 8135.19. Okay, and then we just do the average daily balance. So a lot of people would freak out. Oh my goodness, 8% interest rate, right? But if we have enough cash flow, who cares? Okay. And we buy at a discount. So let's go ahead and do this, copy and paste. And how long is it going to take for us to pay off a rental property? Oh, 27 months for our first fully paid off rental property. Isn't that amazing? So now we're even though as a rich person, we're rich, we're just going to be even richer, right? Richie, rich, richer. Rental property one paid off in 27 months. 27 months. Okay. And then we'll just do it again, right? So we get another rental property, get another tenant. All right. So now we'll just multiply this by two. So we have two tenants now. Okay. And so now we just do it again. So what's our cash flow? 9535.19. And let's see how long it takes us to pay it off, right? And so this is going to be 23 months, right? 23 months. We completely pay it. So it's 23 months, right? That's rental property. Actually, I probably should do. Well, I'll just do this. Number one, number two, and then we'll just do it again. Get another $300,000 property for $200,000 all in. Get another tenant in there times three, and now our cash flow is 10 grand. So 19935.19, right? And then copy and paste, and then do this over and over again. And now, oh, we paid off a property in 20 months. All right. So 20 months. So let's add this up in total. So 27 plus 23 plus 20. That's 70 months in total for three rental properties. And so 70 divided by 12, that's 5.83 years. Okay. 5.8 years, three paid off properties, right? And so each rental property is going to give us about 2,000 times zero point 0.7 in cash flow, right? Because we paid off all the debt. And then not only that, we have a ton of equity. So each property we're just going to have, let's say, they were originally $300,000 properties when we bought them, and now they'll have appreciated to 350, right? So 350, bam, 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 right? Right. So, oh man, all right. So 350,000. Let me try this again. Oopsie, I screwed up. All right. So 350, 000, 350, 000, all paid off, 000. And then now this is what we're going to do is we're going to sum up the equity, right? So now we got $1.05 million of equity in about 5 years. Okay. So we're literally a net millionaire in net worth in about 5 years. Very easy, very lazy. And not only that, we got all the cash flow, right? So what's the cash flow that we get per property? We'll just say 1,400 times about 27 years on average. I don't know. And we got to multiply it by 27 times 12, right? So let me go ahead and actually do this, right? So, hold on. Let me copy this, and I'll just do the formula one more time. And then this is like equals 1,400 times 12 times 27, right? So now we got all this cash flow in about 27 years, if we're assuming to hold it for that long. And then now let's sum this up. Wablam. All right. And let me make the formatting a little bit more bonito. All right. So now 1.3 million cash flow, which we'll get in 20 something years, and then $1 million of equity. And so now we are even richer than ever. And we did this, able to unlock all of this cash flow and wealth in about 5 years, right? Have you ever heard of anyone paying off three properties in about 5 years? People don't even do that with a car loan, right? Like these days, car loans like 6, 7, sometimes 10 years because people are thinking just about the monthly payment. But okay, but you're going to be different. You're going to be different because it's going to be so easy to pay off your property. And if you're rich, just be richer, right? You ever like hear people say, "Oh, just don't be broke"? That's kind of what we're going to do here. All right. So, all right. Well, that's it for today. This is Velocity Banking as a rich person because once we paid off most of our debt, just buy some rental properties. You know what I'm saying? Buy some rental properties and get that 10 grand or 11 grand a month in cash flow and rake it in. Actually, why did I erase this part? Actually, let's do this. Okay. So, in about 5.8 years, this is what we do. So 57 plus 5 point okay, so 57 plus 27 plus 23 plus 20 is about 127 months, okay? So at this stage, let's say that we're at 127 months. Now look at our loan balance, so it's 223. So what we can do is pay off our mortgage and then just calculate it easily. So 300,000 at 30 years, okay? And then now let's calculate this correctly. So $3,000 is our general expenses. What is our income? Our income is 15,200, and then we'll just do $16,000 chunks. Okay, what's our current balance? Our current balance is 223,160.16. 223,160.16. The interest rate is 3%, and the payment amount is 1,264.81. 1,264.81. And how long does it take for us to pay off the mortgage? 1.6 years. Kablam. All right. So now we have 4 paid off houses. And once we focus on paying off the mortgage, it's 1.6 years. Look how easy that was. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for today, folks. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.